Batman Arkham Knight is one of my favorite games of all time, the graphics, combat, and story all being amazing. I platinumed it at the end of 2023, and whilst it was challenging, it was a lot of fun, but it made me realize something. I had never really gave Arkham Asylum or Arkham City a proper shot. Sure, I completed the story casually on Steam, but because of me comparing it to Arkham Knight, the first game I played in the series made them harder to enjoy. That's why I today chose to platinum Arkham Asylum, aka get all 48 of his trophies. Being a completionist Batman is not easy. So I started the game, and since I'd played it before, I knew it had difficulty trophies, which meant that I had to play the entire game in hard mode to get all 3 trophies in one go. As expected, hard mode makes enemies stronger and Batman weaker, but the big problem is the fact that it gets rid of counter prompts when enemies attack. This meant that I had to be around 3 centimeters away from my screen so I'd be able to see the attacks and counter in time. And also because I had already previously played Arkham Asylum for like 30 minutes, I already had 6 trophies. 3 of them were combat trophies and 3 of them were trophies for playing the story.
Officer Bowles.
And the story for this game is that Batman captured Joker and was taking him to Arkham Asylum, but it was Joker's plan to get caught and be taken there. Joker then took over the asylum to throw a party later on in the night, which also happens to be the first party I was invited to. Anyway, I very quickly caught up to where I left off, and after seeing the massive moon above Gotham, I got my first Riddler trophies. So Arkham Asylum has 240 Riddler challenges scattered around the map. Some are simple Riddler trophies you collect, others are interview tapes which give some lore about different characters. There are also actual riddles you need to figure out with your environment, which can be tricky. You need to scan a bunch of bug thingies. And then lastly, there are Joker teeth which you need to destroy with batarangs. And whether you like it or not, you need to collect all of them for the platinum. But anyway, I wouldn't have to worry about those this early in the game, so after progressing in the story, I actually got kinda decent at the combat, so the game decided to bring me my first big challenge, which was a boss fight with Bane. Arkham Knight got a lot of complaints about needing to use the Batmobile so much for boss fights. And although I really didn't mind using the Batmobile, this first boss fight did make me think about how much better Arkham Knight would be if it didn't have so much Batmobile and instead focused on the hand-to-hand combat. Anyway, after Bane, I got to the Batcave and got the best weapon in the entire game series, the Batclaw. It is so much better in Arkham Knight because of the combo finisher in that game, but it still helped me create higher free flow combos here in Arkham Asylum. Whilst fighting for my life, I was doing more of the story where Joker had now successfully taken over the whole island. I also got more Riddler trophies, and also was repeatedly getting flashbanged by turning on detective vision. But it was all worth it, because after that the game was finally getting good because Harley Quinn started showing up more, and I started imagining our future together. But since Arkham Batman can resist Harley Quinn unlike me, my time with her was cut short because she got captured. Batman must have figured out that Harley's a man. Anyway, before she got locked up, she freed Poison Ivy, so there was still a reason for me to keep playing. But before we could go see her, I had to beat 2 Titan henchmen at once, and since I knew there was another trophy for beating one of them without using batarangs like they're supposed to be beat, I got 2 trophies. And also at this point, I had become such a terrifying Batman that enemies started acting like they didn't see me, so I'd spare their lives. I wasn't a Batman that killed people, but I could make exceptions. After that, I made some solid progress with the Riddler challenges until I got attacked by Scarecrow for the 3rd time. This time, however, we finally got to see Batman's second biggest fear, which is women. But we actually did find out Batman's biggest fear earlier in the game, and it kinda sucks that we didn't get to see that.
What are you really scared of? Failing to save this cesspool of a city? Not finding the commissioner in time? Me in a thong?
But either way, by using all my willpower, I could resist Harley Quinn this time, so I beat Scarecrow, and then my new Robin helped me out by getting rid of him for good this time. And honestly, Scarecrow should thank me for defeating him, because his glow up from this Scarecrow to the Arkham Knight Scarecrow is insane. However, defeating Scarecrow meant that it was time to go through the most traumatizing part of the game, which was to get ingredients for the cure against the Titanium Serum, which just so happens to be in Killer Croc's lair. And Killer Croc also no longer wanted to be my Robin, so he was chasing me the entire time, which was not nice. After defeating Killer Croc without any issues, I did some more Riddler stuff and then got 2 combat trophies, one of them being the highest free flow combo trophy, which was 40. Then it was finally time for Poison Ivy. I was all for a Poison Ivy boss fight and beat the first section with only 1 death, but when she started spawning in her simps, the game became very difficult. I died so many times that I actually got tired of seeing Poison Ivy's death screen, which I didn't even think was possible. But after around 20 minutes, I finally managed to beat her. And after this, I was at the end of the story because Joker had finally finished preparing his party and was ready for my arrival. And by beating off all my fans awaiting my arrival, I had now gotten both of the missable trophies in the game. But then it was finally time to fight Joker, and after I fought all his goons, he infected himself with the Titanum Serum. He infected me with it too, but I had the cure and reasons to keep going, so I survived. I took a little damage, but defeated the Joker without dying, proving that I had truly became the Batman, and then got the trophy for beating the story in easy mode, normal mode, and hard mode. But since I had now fully completed the story, I wanted to visit the challenges the game has to offer, because you also need to do them for the platinum. And thankfully for the combat challenges, they did give me the counter prompts and it helped so much. It even gave me a trophy for not taking any damage during a combat challenge, which I got on my first try. Along with these combat challenges, there were also predator challenges, where I had to carefully take out enemies, preferably without getting caught, whilst also completing specific objectives. These first ones were a lot of fun and gave me a bunch of trophies, but before I could complete all the challenges, I had to go back to the main game to finish collecting all the Riddler stuff. And apparently Riddler trophies are another thing people disliked about Arkham Knight, and maybe even the entire game series, but when I platinumed Arkham Knight, they were one of the most fun parts of the game. It wasn't as fun in Arkham Asylum because of the lack of gadgets you need to use to get them, but in around 3 hours I got the rest of the Riddler stuff along with the gliding trophy. And also because I had finished the story, there were literally no enemies around, so running around an empty map got pretty boring. In Arkham Knight, after you beat the game and go for Riddler trophies, you can at least still protect Gotham by paralyzing people if you wanted a quick break. Then by scanning a bunch of these bugs, I got another trophy, also meaning that I had now 100%ed the entire map. All that was left now was to get 3 medals on every combat and predator challenge. Because the previous Predator challenges were so easy, I thought I'd be able to get through them quickly, but then they decided to bring out objectives like this. Use the Ultra Bat Claw to pull 3 henchmen off a walkway at once. Take down 3 henchmen with 3 different walls at once using explosive gel. Kick 2 henchmen at once using the line launcher. These still ended up being a lot easier than the combat challenges because with the help of YouTube videos, you can still pretty easily complete these normally super difficult objectives. Batman is literally me and all that, but I'm not about to study my enemies so I can naturally complete these objectives. So after getting 3 medals on every Predator challenge, it was time to get the combat challenges. So at this point I had mastered the combat, so the first combat challenges weren't that bad and I got through them quickly. One where I had to beat enemies in a specific amount of time and we lose plenty of times because of the electric floor turning on with the timer running out, but after around 40 minutes I got it. And if you think that's bad, then you're not ready for the final combat challenge. So for this one, I needed a score of 50,000. It had 4 stages with no timer, but 2 of the stages had these tiny henchmen, making flawless combos a lot trickier to get. So at the start I focused on getting variation bonuses, so by using different moves in combat, you'd get a bunch of points. It worked pretty well, but not good enough. So I switched to going for the highest free flow combo possible with just basic punches and jumping over enemies. Guess which one gives more points? So because Batman without his utility belt was the winning strategy, I fully committed to it, which got me a bunch of points for every attack that landed. The move I had to focus on, however, was the ground takedown, which gives the most points out of all the moves Batman can do. But because you can easily be attacked when performing this move, getting multiple of these was impossible. When I finally got the trophy, I was happy, but after getting so close so many times, losing for dumb reasons, and most importantly spending 4 hours on this one challenge, I couldn't be too satisfied with myself. I just wanted to be done with this game, so I went to get the final trophy. I don't know why I chose this as my final trophy. Finishing the combat challenge as the final trophy would have probably been a tiny bit cooler. Anyway, if you want to see me platinum Arkham City, which is widely known as the best Arkham game, then like and subscribe. And now go watch me platinum Poppy Playtime.